Well, it's been described as the dark side of footy. From grassroots to professional football, there are now growing calls to stamp out ugly behaviour on the footy field, with a shocking new report revealing a plague of violence in community sport.
Police in New South Wales alone are called to local club games 3 times a week for incidents between referees, parents and players. To discuss, we are joined now by the President of North West Sydney Football Referees Association, Tom Emeleus, and sports psychology expert in Adelaide, Alison Crozier. Welcome to you both. Let's start with you, Tom. You've been a ref for 36 years, I understand. Speak to us about how you're seeing that things are changing on the field.
Yeah, well, most of our referees are young people from the community. You know, they're your kids, they're your neighbours. They're there to enjoy the game as well, and they cop a hard time from parents or from coaches, players, and that can be enough for them to quit. And look, we saw it escalate a little bit during COVID, but there's always been a background level there where people seem to take a licence as soon as somebody's got a referee's kit on, that they're fair game.
So, Tom, talk us through what impacts you now think that it is having on grassroots footy.
Yeah, it has a huge impact because we lose half our first-year referees every year. So these are kids that have put their hand up to, take another role in a sport they love. They've done the training, bought the kit, they're keen, they're ready to go, and then a couple of ugly incidents, and then they give it away. And the impact of that is, apart from the personal impact on those kids, that we end up with fewer referees.
Yeah.
No one enjoys the game if there isn't an independent ref there.
Yeah, 2 of our teenagers were reffing basketballs. They're young teenagers. They just stopped doing it because it was just too straight. Yeah, they were copping it. Alison, let's bring in you now. You've recently published some work on umpire abuse, poor sideline behaviour as well from parents. What does your research show?
So what we found is that about 50% of umpires are experiencing verbal abuse on a regular basis. So that's at least every other week. And 21% of our surveyed umpires experience physical abuse at some stage during their umpiring career. And so these are worrying statistics.
Look, of course, many people wouldn't yell at a child in a shopping centre and so many other walks of life. What is it about the footy field that makes people think that's okay?
Yeah, look, I'm not condoning the behaviour, but from a psychological perspective, what we see is that the spectators, even coaches, it's an emotionally charged environment, and when they feel they're being challenged or threatened in some way or obstructed, that's when we see some of these outbursts occurring. OK,
let's talk about what we can do about it, because does it need to start at the top echelons of the game? An extreme case this week, a Collingwood member accused of sending death threats against Carlton coach Michael Voss. He allegedly targeted him after the Blues lost and basically said that he was going to die. Do these behaviours start from the top? Do we need to see clubs really, really stamping down on this?
Yeah, one of the biggest things that umpires told us is that they want to see bigger fines and, consequences for these actions occurring, for these negative behaviours. And so we do need to stamp those out, having these consequences. But it is a cultural shift that's going to need to change at all levels, not just at the elite level, but all the way down to grassroots level.
Yeah, it is a major problem. To both of you before you go, your message to parents and grandparents around the country this weekend, they'll be getting their kids ready for sport, soccer, basketball, footy. What do you say to them, Tom?
Yeah, look, be nice to the referees, as simple as that. We've got kids kicking off right now across the east coast of Australia. They're there to enjoy the game. They're your kids, they're your neighbours. They're also junior players themselves. Just remember that. They're there to enjoy the game as well. Give them a fair go. They're going to make mistakes just like the players, but if you let them, yelling at them doesn't make them make better decisions. So be nice to them, give them a fair go, and you'll have more referees at your games.
Tom, Alison, thank you both.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, moving